Why don't you give it attention this time around? It keeps coming back. You actually think that it is of no importance. You don't give value to it. You don't actually give attention to it. You've been a Christian for 10 years, but you're still going through this trauma. You've been giving your tithe. You've been committing yourself in the house of God. You've been very active at the workplace, but you still keep going through it. Hello there, welcome and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, hello, hi, I am the God Girl. It is not her fault. She did all she could do at that time. What you did or what you should have done or what should have been performed is not the reason why you experienced what you went through. Your younger self is begging you to forgive her. I always say subscribe and have a good time on this channel. As you have seen by the title, how to heal your emotional trauma, past wrongs, how to rewrite your story again. That is what we are going to talk about today. Before I start today's video, I want to put a disclaimer out there. I am not a licensed therapist nor a psychologist. Anything and everything I'm going to voice out in today's video is actually the experience I've gone through, how I was able to come out from my emotional trauma, my pain, my past wrongs, the things that worked for me, the things that didn't work for me, the steps I took, the people I involved, the people I didn't involve, the way I did it, the way I related to it, and how I rewrite my story. Let's talk about trauma first of all and how we perceive it from individual to another individual or from one person to the other person. The reason why I want to talk about this is because people have the tendency to underestimate people's trauma. Trauma is trauma. It doesn't matter whether you perceive it as hard enough or not hard enough, or this thing is softer. If it was me, I would have done better. It doesn't matter whether it was hurtful or not hurtful enough. Trauma is trauma. We all have different experiences growing up, different backgrounds growing up, different voices that we heard in our life when we were growing up, different training, different disciplinary principles when we were growing in life. So you can't boldly say that this trauma is not trauma enough. Trauma is trauma, and many are going through it. Hey, please keep quiet there. Trauma is trauma. It doesn't matter how you see it. The capacity that we have, the threshold, the individual build up, the inbuilt or the inner well-being varies from individual to individual. That is why I keep telling individual personalities that I meet in life, per my experience, it's quite tricky when you want to share your past trauma, your past pain, open wounds, their closed wounds, their past wounds, their forwarding wounds. Anything at all you can describe it. Any word you can best describe your trauma, not to anybody. I always tell people it's better to seek professional attention than an individual attention, because what is traumatized to you might seem not traumatizing to them, not enough worth sharing to them. You see, for example, me losing my work or me losing my job might be traumatized to me, might be looking more, taking the pain on my shoulder. Somebody who lost his or her job for the past 10 years or maybe 10 years ago or 5 years ago have been able to recover from it, and me sharing with the person, it's more like not enough traumatizing. So your traumatizing moment is very important that you seek a professional attention. Please guys, take this from me. Another thing I want you to know is that please don't ever undermine yourself or see yourself as insecure for going through what you went through. It was part of your experience. It was supposed to build you up, and it's not our fault, because our emotions and our feelings are always ready to react and not respond. So it is not your fault to undermine yourself or what you went through, the traumatizing moments, the pain, the things that were your faults, those that were not your fault. You just have to know that it's part of your process and you have to work on it and get healed. That is all. So the first thing and the very first important point I want you to know is that I think I've said this in my last video, how to romanticize your life, that you need to sit down and identify with yourself that you've gone through this trauma or you're going through this trauma. You have to embrace it. You have to come into terms with it that you went through. come to the analyzation, come to the self-awareness that I went through it. Many of us are going through traumatizing moments where we don't feel like talking to anybody, we don't feel like going to school again, we don't feel like doing the work of God again. Most of us are working at a place right now that we don't like. We are traumatized by our boss's attitude, by our co-worker attitude. There is, traumatizing comes in different moments. It can be tiny as mustard seed. It can make you traumatized. So first thing I want you to know is that embrace it with your full chest. Some of us, our traumatizing moment has been all our life. It's time you embrace it and know how you can come out of it. It doesn't matter what anybody says. You went through it. You lived through it. You passed through it. It is your experience. Are you getting what I'm saying? Stop running from it. Stop giving yourself excuses that this wasn't supposed to happen to me. Your trauma is your trauma. Your story is your story. Your experience is your experience. It can never be like anybody's experience. You are the outcome of your experiences and your faults and your mistakes in life. So appreciate your traumatizing moments and know how you can overcome it. Know how you can come out from it. I remember those times when I was going through that moment and I was telling myself that I'm a child of God and I can't go through this pain, I can't go through this trauma. I have to relate it to the fact that God is there for me. As far as I live on this, He has given me the Holy Spirit, He has given me people, He has given me wisdom. The reason why you keep pushing it aside because you are thinking that it is little and it doesn't need your attention and it keeps coming back. Why don't you give it attention this time around? It keeps coming back. You actually think that it is of no importance. You don't give value to it. You don't actually give attention to it. You've been a Christian for 10 years, but you're still going through this trauma. You've been giving your tithes. You've been committing yourself in the house of God. You've been very active at the workplace, but you still keep going through it. You thought that going to the mall, having time with family, you thought that having time with your kids were going to solve it, but it's still coming back every moment. You need to heal through that trauma. Take a bold step that I'm going to embrace you and work on you. You're not going to have a toll on my soul again. I keep losing myself. I keep losing the people around me because of the trauma I've went through. I keep losing the way I talk. I keep losing myself in public. I get angry easily. A slightest thing, I'm very emotional about it. My negative shows up so much because of this trauma. It's time to get over it, because if you don't do it, it will keep reoccurring in your life and you think that you are a mistake. Nobody is a mistake. You just have to analyze it, identify yourself with it, embrace it, and then the next thing I want you to know is that stop being comfortable with your trauma. I don't care how it is. I don't care how little or how slow or how quick you can overcome this trauma. Don't be comfortable with it again. Don't accept the comfortability of this trauma. Don't think that, after all, I know who I am. You know who you are, but you're actually going through pain. You just have to stop being comfortable with it and come out from your comfort zone. Most of us are in the comfort zone of our trauma. We've pampered it so much. We've loved it so much. We have fed it so much that it's now creating toxins and things that we don't want it to be in our life. We have treated it so much with so much care and love to the extent that it's giving us heart attack in the soul, heart attack in the heart. You just have to stop being comfortable. Come out from your comfort zone. I want you to come out from your comfort zone right now. Most of us are comfortable with our trauma because we think when we speak about it, people are literally going to brush it off. Or you know what you went through. It is your shoe. It is your shoe. So when people say that, I know, I understand what you're going through, it is a total lie. You don't know what anybody or whatever or whoever is going through. Stop being comfortable with your trauma. It is literally your life. I've said it over and over again. It's your story, it's your experience, it's your life. You are living in it. Stop being comfortable with it because of what people will say. The reason why most of us we are comfortable with our trauma because we are thinking literally of what people will say. I've married my husband for the past 6 years. What will he think if he knows that I masturbate when he's not there? I've married my wife for the past 6 years and I have a kid somewhere. I have a baby. When I traveled, I got somebody pregnant and I have a baby. And you've been living with this trauma. What if she hears it after 3 years of marriage? You are pampering the trauma. You are comfortable with it. You are thinking of what people will say about it. So you are getting too comfortable with it, and each and every day your soul is dying in and out. Stop being comfortable with it. Get out from your comfort zone. Get up right now. Who do you have to talk to? If you need to talk to somebody, talk to somebody. If you can literally go as a professional help on how to guide you to talk out of this issue, you need to do it. Stop being comfortable with your trauma. Stop thinking of the fact that this person will judge me, this person will say that this person will say that this. You see, you need to have a complete social life where you have somebody or some people or one person that literally will not judge you of what you're going through. Somebody that will say that I understand. Somebody that I can say that, Reggie, I am lasting after somebody and it's been a trauma on my soul. And the person will tell me that, okay, how can we overcome it? What can we do to resolve it? Reggie, how can I help you? You need to stop pampering it. You need to come out from your comfort zone with the trauma you're going through. Your story, your trauma might be similar to the next person, but that is not actually their story. For example, in my family, my mommy is a melancholic and she's that shy, quiet type, kind of okay. You have to involve her as a mother. She hardly come to you as her daughter or her son. She have to always approach my mother, and I took that nature of her, but because of the work of God and some things and some preaching of the word, we have become talkative in a way or a kind. But my sister is that harsh. My sister is that over talkative person, even not talkative. She's that when you do it, she just speak her mind to you. My mother can keep in her what you've done to her for the next 10 years. She will not voice over it. She will love you as she has to love you. She hardly rebuke you with the hard word or harsh words. My mother will tell you that you are wise and I'm expecting you not to do it the next time. But my sister will not tell you that. She will just be point blank to Mommy Pacho or Mommy, I don't like what you did. He will tell me, sister, I don't like what you did. My brother, my brother on the other hand, the one after me, is that phlegmatic guy. He will not talk. All he needs is his games, his, how do you call it, guys, game pad or whatever it is called. All he needs is being in front of his computer, playing games morning, evening, afternoon, midnight. That's all he needs. Even his birthday, you have to remind him that it's your birthday, you see. And my last brother on the other hand is that I don't care. When you need something, you just come to you. I don't know where to put him, but guys, I'm just using my family as example to bring to you the story or the storyline that you are you are different, you are special, you are not like anybody, and you can never be like anybody. You are that one person only in this world. So I was trying to say that. So my mommy growing up had to handle each of us very differently. For example, our last brother, you can. Let me use my sister. If you rebuke my sister in public, she's okay. She doesn't care. But my brother, the one after me, if you rebuke him in public, it's hardly for him to come out the next day, but especially if it is in front of his friends. He's not even going to talk or go back to them for the next 1 week. And me sitting here, if you rebuke me whether in public or inwardly, I start crying. That's the storyline. That was way back. Okay, so my mommy had to understand the storyline of her kids and treat all of us with different way of upbringing. So the way my mother talks to my sister is not the same way she talks to me. The way she talks to my brother is not the same way she talks to my little brother or myself or my sister. We are 2 girls, 2 boys. That is literally how the story has been when growing up. I learned this the hard way from my mother, that we vary from individual to individual. You are not like me and I can never be like you. If you have kids right now, and most of us, we have traumatized our kids to the extent that we keep comparing them to each other. We keep comparing our friends to our kids to their friends, and that has been left a trauma. It left traumas in us that we've grown up with. So you are extending that same grace onto your kids. You are extending that same trauma to your kids. Please, your trauma is your trauma. The next thing I want you to know is that most of us are living in denial. You keep living in your denial that this thing is not me, this thing is not me, it can't be me. This denying factor is actually left a contribution in your life. You're actually living and acting the way you're acting now because you keep denying yourself. One of the saddest moments of life is that when you keep denying yourself. So I'm talking about the fact that you're denying yourself the fact that it didn't happen to me. So that thing is going to leave a future dilemma, a future contribution in your next acting moment of your life right now. Somebody is going to call you in the next 2 minutes, and you're going to act a certain way because of your denying your life or yourself of the fact that you are not going through this trauma. Somebody is gonna give you a promotion. Somebody is gonna talk to you in a certain way, of which you could have responded in a very loving way, but because of your trauma that you keep denying of it, you're gonna act a certain way. The denier is actually keeping, shaping, controlling your life. You kind of know, you know it. That is what I hate about people. They know. I tell people every day that nobody knows you better than yourself. Nobody knows you better than yourself. So you know it. It's controlling you. It's actually what makes you angry easily. It's actually makes you not love going for people's wedding. It's actually the reason why you hate it when people get promoted. It's actually the reason why you hate it when people are celebrating their birthdays. It's actually the reason why you don't like it when people are being increased in their salary. It's actually the reason why you don't like it when your husband or your wife tells you that they are getting this kind of promotion. It's actually the reason why you don't like it when your kids come back to school to tell you that their teachers want to see you. It's actually the reason why you know the reason of what you're doing. It's actually becoming a part of you, but you denying it. And it will kill you gradually. Nobody will kill you. The devil will not kill you. Your family will not kill you. You will kill yourself. Stop denying yourself. It is happening right now. Stop living in the moment of denial that this cannot happen to me. You are in it. Embrace it with joy. Embrace it with love. Embrace it with total awareness that this is me. How can I come out of it? This is Reggie. This is Regina Abuaji. Mention your name. One of the things I kept doing to myself is that I wake up and I mention my name. Nanekwi Abuaji Pukuya. This is you. How can you solve these things? Guys, what I want you to realize in today's video again is that let's strive growth over perfection. Let's see to the fact that we are growing every second, every moment of our life. One thing I want you to know is that it took a lot of moments of identification, actualization, analysis, points of correction, punctuation mark, full stops to realize that I'm going through this. It took a lot of me going back into my childhood days. It took a lot of times of me talking to my mother, talking to my siblings, talking to the people around me. It took a lot of time. God bless Michael. You know, apart from my spiritual life, this guy has been a blessing to me. It took a lot of time of he coaching what is in my mind. He told me that, Reggie, people always be people. One of the things that he told me that caught my attention was that he never lives to expectation. He lives to the fact that in life, everything and anything can happen. So if something happens to me, it is my ability to pick up myself again. And thank you so much, Michael, Miss Millicent, Mr. Benjamin Mens, all my V family. Thank you so much. You understand what I'm talking about? These people have shaped me to who I am today, and they've been part of my growth till now. So guys, I just want you to know that this is a very heartfelt message to you. I actually did this video because we are ending 2023, and it's my lovely message for you. It's my birthday message for you that you are who you are because of what you are thinking, or your thought patterns, or what you think, what you thought about yesterday. You are who you are because of what happened to you in the previous years. So if you don't want to see the you are seeing today in the next 2 years, work on the you today. Please, I'm begging you with the love of God, with my heart, with my palm or my hand in one hand, that please work on it. Don't. I'm doing this video because we are living in a phase of our life where we are affecting people around us because of the things we've gone through in life. Our marriages are breaking, our relationships are not working, our kids are going through some kind of dilemma, our parents are not forgiving, our kids are going through some things, our life are tortured because of the traumas, the pain, the misunderstandings, and whatever we went through. It took me a lot of understanding, a lot of love, a lot of forgiving spirit. And now I'm delivered. Don't look at me in that way. I'm delivered, and I want you to be delivered as well. Thank you so much for watching today's video. Till I see you again, never stop dreaming, never stop loving people, and never ever stop being your best. I love you so much with the love of God. I'll see you in my following video. Bye.